Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. Now, my name is Ethan Bayliss. I'm the founder of Orist, which is the leading OnlyFans management agency based in the UK, and I've been running it for the past 4 years. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you exactly how to find OnlyFans models. So why do you need to find OnlyFans models? Well, that's a core process within the model recruitment process, is actually being able to find these OnlyFans models in order to initiate contact. So I'm going to be walking you through a few methods today on exactly how to find these OnlyFans models online, how to pre-qualify them, and then also how to predict the future earnings if you do go ahead and sign the model that you're outreaching to or you just found online. Okay, so it's going to be a super insightful training and in-depth for you guys. Now, signing models for me personally is really easy because I have a model recruitment system which is completely automated, and I have a virtual assistant who does the prospecting for me, so finds these models in exactly the training that I'm going to be walking you through today. And I also have a virtual assistant who handles the actual model recruitment process, so the outreach, the delivering of the model attraction assets. If you're curious about the model recruitment system as a whole, then I have plenty of other video trainings walking through this. But in today's video, we're going to be going through one of the key steps, which is prospecting and finding these OnlyFans models in the first place. So let's get into it. So we are now on the screen here, and I'm going to be showcasing you guys exactly the processes that you can go through in order to find models. So the first platform that we're going to talk about is Instagram. So Instagram is my favorite platform in order to find OnlyFans models, simply because how you can make the algorithm, which is really advanced, do the work for you in finding OnlyFans models. So if you create an Instagram account, so it could be an agency Instagram account, it can just be some random Instagram account that you got set up, it could be your own personal one. Once you've created this Instagram account, you just go ahead and like a bunch of OnlyFans models content. You go ahead and follow these OnlyFans models. And what's going to happen is the algorithm is just going to curate your feed in order to just be basically delivering, handpicking OnlyFans models that you're interested in and delivering it to your actual page. And then you can just go ahead and outreach to all of these models that come up. So for example, we go to the Reels section. And once we're on the Reels page, we may have a few Reels which aren't interesting. But when it's female-led content, you can typically guarantee that it's going to be OnlyFans models promoting the page, especially if it's promiscuous content. So for example, we've got a girl in some leggings here. So we're just going to click on opening this, and it's going to take us to a page. And as we can see, this model has 136,000 followers, and she's got a link here, which is get all my links. Most of the time, you're looking for either a link tree or get all my links, and you can guarantee that 9 times out of 10 it's going to lead to an OnlyFans account. So perfect, we've found a model here who we get outreach to. We go back to Instagram, we've liked that, go ahead and follow the model, scroll down. Again, it's going to be another piece of content from a model. We can click on this. It's going to take us to another page, and it's going to be 217,000 followers, and again a link there for the OF. And what you can do is you can just keep on going through, liking this content, opening the pages, and you're going to find a bunch of OnlyFans models. And you can basically like particular type of niches as well. So let's say you're going after e-girls as the type of model that you want to manage. You can go ahead, find a bunch of e-girls, start liking their content, and then it's going to curate your feed with e-girls, okay? Now, in general, the sort of content that you find on the feed is going to be from models who have a lot of subscribers. Typically, it's going to be models who have over 10,000 subscribers or 10,000 followers on Instagram. So it's quite like, big ticket models that are going to be delivered on your feed. However, you can still go after them. Now, the sweet spot for reaching out and signing models is around about 10,000 followers to 100,000 followers. So if you've got a model who's between 10 and 100K, then they're perfect to be outreached to. It just basically depends on a lot of factors in terms of whether they're already working with an agency or not. So the sweet spot, 10 to 100K followers, you can outreach to models who have got more than that, providing you're an experienced agency, because those models who have got more than 100,000 followers, they're going to be rather sophisticated. They understand OnlyFans deeply. And if this is your first model that you're looking to sign, then I wouldn't recommend reaching out to those. I'd recommend getting a model with a smaller amount of followers. So if you just keep on doing this, then eventually you're just going to find a model who does have the amount of followers that you're looking for, especially if you only like and follow models who have lower followers. Then it's going to, again, curate your feed to go after exactly that. Now, another way that you can use Instagram to find OnlyFans models is if you go to the search and you just type in, say, MILF, you can then find models who have a MILF. Now, some of these keywords do get banned off Instagram, unfortunately, if they're sexually implicit. So what we can do is we can change the keyword up here. We can change it to office girl. Nice and simple. And it's going to come up with a bunch of models who are in the office girl niche. So as we can see here, we have a ton of models, and you can look at them and they're going to be different sized audiences. So for example, this model, she's got 5,000 followers, and typically you're going to find models who have smaller amount of followers just by going to these process on the actual search feature and the keyword there. Okay, so this is how you find models with Instagram. It's either through the reel section or it's through the actual search section on Instagram as well. Now, there's also a third method where you do find a model. What you can do is you can click on this little icon here next to the three dots, and it's going to come up with a bunch of suggested for you accounts. So it's going to find other accounts which are similar to this account. So again, you can basically just click on these profiles, you can open them, and you're going to find a ton of models who are doing a similar sort of content style to this model, and the algorithm thing should also be interested in. So again, there's no shortage of leads at all. Look at all these leads here you can reach out to. You click on each one of these new pages as well, and then you click on the plus icon, and then again it's going to take you to a whole new lead list of similar models. So you can just keep on rinsing and repeating that process. And you can also look at the sort of hashtags the model's using to get inspiration to search for more keywords. So you can look at this hashtag, this model, hashtag coworker. You can then type in hashtag, you can change this keyword to coworker. And then again, you're going to probably find some more content. And if you just click through, you'll find them using different hashtags. You can search those different hashtags and you can find more OnlyFans models that you can actually start outreaching to. Okay. So the next way that you can go ahead and find OnlyFans models is by using Reddit. So within Reddit, there's a few subreddits that you can go after. So you can go after OnlyFans Girls 101. We click through here, and what we're going to see is a bunch of basically accounts where models are promoting their content for the OnlyFans page. So each one of these posts here is going to be a post that's done by an OnlyFans model. So what we can do is we can click on one of these accounts. It's then going to go ahead and take us to one of these models' Reddit accounts here. And chances are they're going to be linking their OnlyFans here. So we click on the link. It'll go ahead and take us to the OnlyFans account. And then there we go. We have a model that we can start a chat with, and we can outreach to them as well. So you can find models really easily on Reddit too. Now, as well as that, once you find like a OnlyFans Girl 101, once you find one of these, you can then click through on the account. You can see what other sort of subreddits is the model posting in. So again, you have one which can be categorized as short porn. Again, a ton of new creators that you can click on. And explore there. So the list is literally endless. You find one subreddit, you click on a bunch of profiles, you'll find another bunch of subreddits. Sometimes the models do link directly to their Instagram and stuff like that as well. So you can then outreach this model on Instagram. She has 4,000 followers, not too big of a creator for your DM to actually get missed. She'll probably see it. So this is a great sort of beginner creator to actually reach out to. And yeah, you can just keep on doing this method to find a bunch of leads. And if you do get confused around finding the OnlyFans subreddits to begin with, once you do find an OnlyFans model, you can look at a bunch of subreddits she's posting in. It's very easy to find other OnlyFans subreddits. But to begin with, you can go ahead to this website. It's called fancharm.com/best-subreddits, however, to promote OnlyFans. And within here, you just need to go in here, put your email in, and it's going to give you a bunch of lists of different OnlyFans subreddits that you can use. Okay, so 1,000 different lists to begin with. Okay, so we've covered Instagram, we've covered Reddit. Again, very easy platforms to use. There's also Twitter, but I'm not going to cover it in this video. It's a very similar sort of thing. Literally, liking content to curate your feed, following OnlyFans models to curate your feed. Going ahead, finding OnlyFans models, look at who they're following. Again, you can find more OnlyFans models. They often do retweets for retweets with other creators too. So once you find one page, it's easy to find other pages. And in addition to that, you can also go ahead and use like the search for the hashtag feature. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to search for a keyword. So you can also use Google to find OnlyFans models. So what we can do is if we go to site-onlyfans.com and then space and then speech mark MILF. And what we can do is we can search for the site onlyfans.com and we can search pages on that site which have the keyword MILF. And as you can see, it's going to give us a bunch of listings of models that we can potentially outreach to, and there's endless amounts of pages that we can use this for. And you can basically just change this keyword and find more pages. So again, we can change this to blonde, and again, there's going to be a bunch of OnlyFans pages of blonde models. Okay, so this is another really effective way to find OnlyFans models to reach out to. You can go ahead and you can click on the page. Once you get taken to the page, sometimes it's going to take you to like the TikTok for the model. You can just start outreaching to them. Okay. Sometimes it'll take you to the Instagram, and again, you can just outreach to them. Okay. You can see whether it takes you directly to the OnlyFans page or whether it takes you to the Instagram based on this bit up here. So users, social, button, click. So it's taking you to the button and it's doing the click action on the button on the page that they have. Okay. So we also have another cool feature is OnlyFans search directories. So we can literally find OnlyFans models on these search directories. So there's one called onlysearch.co. We literally go here, we can type in blonde. And what it's going to do is it's going to come up with a bunch of blonde models. We can then go ahead and click through onto their OnlyFans, and then we can outreach them there. Now, what you can do is you can search their username for OnlyFans onto a platform like Instagram, and chances are you'll find them. If not, you're going to have to look to see whether they actually have the Instagram button linked within the OnlyFans account. So sometimes down here, typically if they're established, they'll have their socials linked. So they have like their Snapchat down here, they'll have like their Instagram button linked here, and then you can just outreach to them from that. In addition, we have a few other search engines you can use as well. So we've got influencers.club. If you go here, you change it and click on OnlyFans. And then again, you go down to this keyword section, type in the keyword. So again, we'll just type in blonde, add that, go ahead and search that. And as we can see, it comes up with a list of a ton of blonde OnlyFans creators. Nice and simple. And then we've also got a final one. So again, you can type in blonde. You can filter it by age, by price, or by like how big they are. You can also go ahead and select the country that you want to outreach to as well. And it's going to come up with a bunch of OnlyFans models with the links, and you can go ahead and outreach to them again. Okay, so nice and simple. So now we've covered a few methods on exactly how to find OnlyFans models, which isn't exactly difficult because OnlyFans models want to be found because they want to get more subscribers, and the way they get more subscribers is by being found online. So we've just basically gone through the avenues that they promote to subscribers, and we're kind of reverse engineered that in order to use those avenues to prospect them. Okay. So once we do that, the next important thing we're going to talk about is actually pre-qualification. So the most important part of running an OnlyFans management agency is finding talent to manage And I've seen this either make or break agencies based on the first model they sign. Sometimes the first model you sign is a terrible model, and it's a model who doesn't produce the content you need. She doesn't actually understand the content game at all. The quality of the content isn't there, and you're just going to end up with an agency which makes no money, versus signing a good quality model who makes content on time, delivers high quality content, and it's going to be significantly easier for you to make money. So the success of your agency depends on the talent that you manage. The better models that you manage, the easier it is to make money. Trust me on that. So we're going to be walking through some pre-qualification, because you don't want to be booking in a bunch of calls with models who are a bunch of time wasters and you just find out they're not really talented, or they're not really good at like OnlyFans promotion or actually creating content or content marketing for OnlyFans. So you don't want to be having a bunch of calls where you're just wasting a bunch of time. And worst of all, you don't want to end up accidentally signing models who are complete time wasters, and you go back to the drawing board after a month of work with them, or even a couple of months. So some quick pre-qualification to look for is to make sure they have a minimum of 5,000 followers. You want to make sure they have 5,000 followers across any social promotional platform. And once they have 5,000 followers across the social promotion platforms, you've basically got some proof of concept that they are consistent with it, and that the model also has proof of concept that people are interested in her. Prior to that, the model is typically kind of unmotivated, typically isn't doing this as a full-time sort of thing, maybe dabbling with this, and they don't have proof of concept. They don't have proof that they can actually build an OnlyFans account and actually get followers and attract followers to it. So that's kind of like a minimum threshold to look for. Another thing to look for is the actual content quality itself. So do they have good lighting? Are they being creative in their ideas? Are they taking content at different angles? Is the actual picture quality good? Like, is it pixelated, or is it high quality images? It doesn't need to be anything really high quality. An iPhone camera is more than enough, but this is what you're looking for. And then, so we've established they need to have proof of concept by having at least 5,000 followers on social media at all. We've covered that they need to have a good pictures, good quality content. And the next thing we look for is consistency. So when did they upload the last post? So again, some hours ago. That's good. 1 day ago. Perfect. 2 days ago. Perfect. So this model's been consistent with uploading high quality content, which is a good indicator that this model is going to be successful on OnlyFans. Because let me tell you something. The looks are a bonus. The model doesn't need to be attractive. She just needs to be consistent, and she needs to understand the marketing game behind OnlyFans. So if you have a model which isn't conventionally attractive, but she really understands how to market OnlyFans models, how to go viral, and she also understands, she shows up every day and creates content, and she understands the importance of that, then that model is going to be 10 times more successful than a model who's attractive but doesn't understand OnlyFans marketing and being consistent. Okay, so those are the things that we look for. Nice and simple. Once you've got those three things, you can tick it off. You can actually start outreaching to this model, and this way you're making sure that you're bringing in high ticket OnlyFans models, so models which are actually going to be assets instead of liabilities for your agency. Now, the third thing I want to go through is projecting model earnings. Okay, so within the link down below in the description, you will find OFM Launchpad, and in the OFM Launchpad we have a classroom section. This is basically a free community for anyone who's looking to start an OnlyFans management agency. So in the classroom section, click on OFM Launchpad. We go to OFM Profit Projection, and as you can see, we have an OFM Profit Projection Calculator. Now, this is a really cool tool that we basically built at my agency, and you can use this tool to predict how much money you'll be making when you do sign an OnlyFans model. So it's really cool and insightful, because you can look at these potential models and you can see how much money you'll be making once you do sign them. Literally just by understanding how much money a model typically makes on average based on the amount of followers that she has. So it's obviously a really useful tool once you are already managing models, because you can see exactly how much money you should be making from these models you're managing. But it's also good to project the future earnings of the models that you're managing and the future earnings of yourself as well. Okay. So what we can do here is we can look and input details. So this model has 725,000 followers. So typically what you'll see is that if a model has around about 10,000 followers, she's typically making a few thousand a month on OnlyFans. If she has 20,000 followers, again, that slightly increases to about $4,000. If she has around about 50,000 followers on Instagram, then you'll typically see anywhere from 20K a month to 30K a month. And then if you get to 100,000 followers, you can see up to 50K a month. So you just use these figures that I've given you as a rough guideline to how much money that the model can be making. So this model is probably too big. She's got 720,000 followers. She's probably working with management already. Again, this model's pretty big. We just keep on clicking through. Again, another big model. So here we go. We have a model who has 30.5 thousand followers. So typically, she's got 30.5 thousand followers. We can click through. We can kind of look at the engagement as well, making sure that she's getting a ton of comments, lots of likes on content. Okay, so she's got an engaged audience. So we can input the details here. So let's say we're managing this one model, or we're looking at potentially signing her on. She's got around about 30,000 followers. So that's probably going to be equating to around about, I would want to say, $20,000 a month. From here, the combined monthly earnings of the account is 20,000. We can then change the expenses that we'll have. So typically 3 to 10%. So let's just go for 5%. So if we just go for $1,000 a month. From here, we'll go for the monthly cost of the software. We'll go for $200. It's just the one creator. And then miscellaneous again, we'll just leave that at 500. Okay, so 1.7K a month in expenses from us. So the total model earnings is 20K, total expenses 1.7K. The agency revenue, because we do an agency rev share split with the model, so 50-50 split, we're taking home 10K. We have 83% profit margins with 8.3K a month in profit if we do sign this one model. And then we can see how much money we'll be making in the future. So after 1 month, it will go up to 10,000. 2 months, it will be around about 13,000. 4 months will be all the way up to 22,000. Okay, that's profit with the model, all the way increased from 8K. And again, that just includes this one model. If you sign on more models over the period, that's just going to skyrocket that number. And then you can also project the model's future earnings of this as well. Okay, so yeah, using the kind of guidelines that I've shown you, you want to look for the amount of followers that she has, and then you're going to get a good idea to how much money she's making on OnlyFans. Now, that doesn't mean to say that there isn't anomalies. Sometimes you get creators like this who could be making upwards of $100,000 a month. It just all depends on how well their OnlyFans account is managed and the sort of subscribers that they're attracting as well, like how big pockets they have and how much they're willing to actually spend. And also looking, if you click on this, sometimes it'll link just directly to the OnlyFans. And then sometimes it'll link to like all my links where you'll be able to see the other links that the model has. So maybe she has a Twitter as well. And on the Twitter, she has like 500,000 followers. Then again, that's going to change the estimate that we have of $20,000 a month. Now, another thing you can look for is you can look for the top percentage of the model. Okay, so models typically will feature a top percentage. So if we type in top 1% here in one of the search features, what it's going to do is going to search OnlyFans, and it's going to search people who have top 1% in their bio. So why do models include top 1% in their bio? Because what it does is it allows for other models to find them, and it allows for other models to organize shoutouts for shoutouts. So another model who's in the top 1%, she'll search on Twitter, for example, top 1%. It'll come up with a bunch of other models. She'll then reach out to these models saying, hey, do you want to do a retweet for retweet? We've got a similar size audience. We're making similar money on OnlyFans. Let's just cross-share our audience and increase the amount of money that we're both making. Okay, so that's why the models do it. And that's why they feature the top 1%. Now, OnlyFans is what dictates whether you're in the top 1%. All these creators, they'll have like a top 1% or top 0.5% or top 0.2% listed within the OnlyFans earnings tab. So within there, you can actually see how much money the model is making based on that. So top 1% is typically $10,000 a month. Top 0.5% is typically around about $30,000 to $40,000 a month. Top 0.2% gets up to around about $80K a month, and then so on and so on and so on. And you can also reverse engineer it. It's like top 5% is around about a few thousand a month. Top 10% is less than $1,000 a month. Okay. So using those top percentages, you can also go ahead and you can just search for these percentages, top 1%, and you'll be able to go after models accurately who are in the top 1%. So you can see, okay, if I want to go after models who are doing 10K a month, then I go after these models here, top 1%. This model, 10K a month, 10K a month, 10K a month. If you want to go after models who are making a few thousand a month, then you can just type in top 5%. And then again, it's going to give you a bunch of models who are making around about 4K a month. Okay, so you can get really accurate with the earnings of the models that you're targeting based on those percentages searching, based on percentage searching. And then in general, you have all these other methods that we'll walk through to find OnlyFans models to begin to prospect them. Okay. So I hope you got a bunch of value from this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe button. Comment down below any other videos that you're interested to see, going after specific workflows, anything like that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.